Thomas Ropp, thank you for speaking with me. Um, you are widely acknowledged as the busiest composer performer in our organization. Have you always packed your schedule this full, or was this something that you started when you arrived at the university?
No, I have unfortunately always been this way. Like in high school, I was involved in like every possible ensemble, and it's just kind of always been one of those things of I've loved music and I've loved doing it, and just any like opportunity to keep doing it, I always love to take. And then sometimes I overbook myself just a little bit.
Okay. Speaking of one of your obligations, one of the things that you're involved with, what draws you to a cappella singing and arranging for your a cappella group at UNM?
Yeah, and so I got here fall of 2020, which of course was a great time to start college. And I was living in the dorms, and it was just kind of like, you wake up, you walk to the other side of your 10 by 10 box, you take your Zoom class, and then that's it. And so I was like looking for something of like, hey, what can I do? Where can I go? And then that was one of the groups that was still kind of like doing things and putting things together. And so I stopped by a rehearsal, auditioned for them, and then just kind of fell in love with it out of like the opportunities and the ability to just kind of do some really cool stuff with them. And a cappella choir especially is interesting because it's a whole different technique world of like singing and that sort of thing. And so I fell in love with it, and I've always enjoyed arranging. I would arrange for like my marching band in high school.
Okay.
Got in trouble more than once for arranging requests, but just, it was another opportunity to keep arranging, and I really just kind of fell in love with the sound and like the ability to create stuff like that with just like vocals only.
Okay, wow, yeah. Turning to your concert music, it's very diverse. You've written for orchestras, the Woodwind Quintet, and then since you've been here, To Be a Frog for Load Bang, Nevermore for Ekmeles, and Maverick for Reed Quintet. Can you trace a trajectory between those works, or is there a through line that you hear when you listen to them?
I mean, yes and no, I guess, is such a cop-out of an answer. I mean, more than anything, like especially at UNM with the mix of ensembles that's available, a lot of it is no connection. It's just like trying something out of, hey, this is a mixed instrument ensemble, this is like Reed Quintet or that sort of thing. It's like write something unique for them and just, experiment and really take the opportunity to try something completely new that you've never written before. Maverick especially, I think, is a really good example of that, of like taking post-tonal theory and that sort of thing. That's very much outside of my like usual comfort zone.
You kind of view yourself as a tonal composer more?
I think in a lot of ways. It like uses chords, and we'll have unique chord progressions and all that jazz, but I mean, for the most part, yes, I would say so.
And especially in your background in a cappella and film, tonal works
tends in that direction more often than not.
Okay, excellent. And turning to film and your work as a video game composer, I counted 29 projects. Was that all this last semester?
Yes.
Okay.
Some of them were bleed over from the previous semester that sure should have been done by then, but.
Okay, and why do you like collaborating with film and video game artists?
I mean, for me especially, I see film as kind of like the combination of as many art forms as possible.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And you add together acting, and in some of these you add together like dance. There were a pair of ballet films, actually.
Oh, wow, awesome.
But just like this collaboration of all these different kinds of art forms, and then you get to add music to it. You get to create your own thing, and then also piece it together with everybody else's art essentially. and just create like the next level of everything. And so it's just been, I love that collaboration with like other artists and that sort of thing. And so it's so reliable to get in film.
Great. And then with this number of projects, do you worry about like maintaining your quality, or is it
All
like,
the time. Yeah. No, I've been talking a lot about like quality over quantity and that sort of thing. And this next semester, definitely, it's like, you know, maybe we should start looking at that and start to specialize. But I mean, at the same time, it's like, you know, I'm an undergrad here, and so it's like, why not take every possible opportunity and just try these new things? And maybe some of the things aren't going to work.
Yeah.
But at least you like tried, and obviously you would learn from it, especially if it didn't work. I feel like you learn more that way.
Yeah. Are there concert works or other works that you hope to write in the future that are really exciting for you?
Oh yeah, there's a couple that I'm really looking forward to. One is technically already written, but I'm currently revising it. It's a horn quartet, and so we're going to premiere it at the International Horn Society, which will be really, really fun. And it's cool to like write for my own instrument and write for my friends and that sort of thing. And then within that same vein, next year a lot of my friends are doing their senior recitals. I've got my senior composition recital. And so I've had people request pieces. So there's a solo tuba piece for one of my friends, and then also a solo horn piece that Dr. Walker, my professor, has actually requested.
Oh, great.
And so those especially I'm really excited for, of like writing for my friends. And so there's a whole other aspect to it if you get to really work with the performers. I mean, bringing in like Splinter Reeds is great, but you really only get that like
Limited.
one shot with them.
Yeah. And when you envision like a successful future for yourself, what does that look like for you?
I mean, it's just making music that means something, and like, you know, that someone can listen to it and it evokes something. It means something to them, it means something to you. And just whatever that is for however many people that is, then, you know, mission accomplished, right?
Yeah. Do you think that it would automatically involve some amount of like feature-length film work, or do you think that you could see yourself?
For me, absolutely.
Okay,
yeah. In terms of like a grand scheme of things, yeah, professional film scoring is the hope.
And do you think that there will be a balance between concert and film, or do you think you'll just be film at some point?
I really hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of film score composers, John Williams is a fantastic example. He has his own horn concerto.
Oh yeah.
But it's just like a lot of, you know, you keep composing and you keep doing things, and I'm sure that it will be influenced somehow. But no, I would love to keep doing as much as possible, pretty much.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Thomas.
Thank you.